Now let's review core probe cooking. You are going to love working with this efficient way of controlling your roast. In the core probe cooking, you have three possibilities: an active, delta T, and cook and hold. We're going to explain each one of them to you. I'm going to focus at this moment on active, and basically core probe cooking is you insert the probe into whatever you're going to cook, set your desired temperature. When it reaches that temperature, it shuts off and lets you know. Easy. Now today, your unit comes standard with the ability to have two probes. One comes standard with it. You can purchase the second one later. I really love having two. So we're going to probe two items today, and at the same time we're going to roast some finger-link potatoes. So we'll be able to keep track of three things simultaneously. Okay, now let's probe your roast. Now you'll see this is a pork one here. This probe has three sensors in it, so it measures in three areas. So we'll just insert that in here. If you're doing a much larger roast, you can always come in from the top. Now this is roast pork one. I'm going to cook that to 150, and this is just a little beef roast, a small one, and I'm going to insert that as well. And this we're going to cook to 120 at 350 degrees. Okay, what's important is you have two probe connections here. Top one is number one, and that's going to be for the pork, and then number two right here is going to be for the beef. The pork's going to cook to 150, the beef is going to cook to 120. It's very important to make sure you plug them in correctly and then set it up correctly. Okay, now we're going to cook our roast and our finger-link potatoes. I'm going to select the combi optima mode, okay? I'm going to set the temperature for 350 degrees, and now I need to set the probes. This is probe 1, this is probe 2. So I hit the meat probe key there, and it says active. That's the one that I want to be in. I'm going to lower the temperature. The first one is for the pork, and I'm going to cook that to 150 degrees. Now I'm going to go set probe number 2 in the active mode. So they're both set. Now what's so important is that you say OK up here in the right hand and confirm that. And now it'll show you the internal temperature of both and the set temperature. And down here is the humidity level in combi optima, which will regulate that. So I would like to cook these both at 35% humidity. Now I'm totally ready to go, except for I need to set the time for my finger-link potatoes, and I'm going to give them, let's give them 20 minutes, and they'll be ready to take out of the oven. It's all ready to go. The probes are in, so all I have to do is push the start button, which is right here. Start, and away we go. Once you see the light flashing, it's telling me that my set temperature is 350, I'm cooking at 20 minutes, and both probes. No other combi on the market today can monitor all three things at the same time. This is a really cool feature. Okay, now you can see that the pork is, the beef is ready, so I'm going to acknowledge that. That's core probe 2, and the pork is still coming up to temperature. So we'll leave that in there until it's done. Okay, core temperature probe 1 is done, so let me just hit that enter. Now I can unload the pork. Well, now you know active cooking using the core probe. Now we're going to delve into delta T. And first let me explain to you what delta T is. For example, I have a cooked bone-in smoked ham. It's thoroughly cooked, and I want to bring it up to temperature. The delta is the difference between the temperature of the ham and the temperature of the combi. So right now the temperature of this ham is chilled. It's about 40 degrees. When I put it into the combi and select delta T, there'll be 36 degrees above that 40 degrees. And every time the ham goes up 1 degree, so does the temperature of the oven. The delta is the difference between the two. So you can use the delta T in almost all the modes: steam mode, hot air mode, and the retherm mode, with different items. Now if I'm doing fresh ham, I'm making my own Canadian bacon, I'm doing some pâtés, mousselines, terrines, I want to use vapor. It'll be in the steam mode, but I can lower the temperature down. And it'll cook very slowly. It maximizes the yield. It comes out very moist. I can also, in that vapor mode, steam mode if you will, rethermalize smoked lamb chops, smoked ribs, bring temperature back into the meat without drying it out. It will be so succulent and juicy. It is a great technique and you're really going to enjoy using this. Now in the Delta T, if I have fatty pieces of beef and roast like that, I want to do that in the dry mode but still using the Delta. If I want to do poultry, chicken, turkey, those types of things, I'll use the retherm mode with the Delta as well. Okay, so I've probed this. We're going to set it up now inside the combi, and I'll show you how the control will look when you plug it in. All right, now let's set the mode that we want. I'm going to select the steam mode. Now we won't be at 212 degrees. We'll be using vapor below that temperature to bring our bone-in ham up nice and slowly. I'm going to select the button key here that's for the core temperature probe. I'll select the core temperature probe and it says active. I want to go to the next one, which will be Delta T. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to lower this temperature down to 145, okay? Because that's the internal temperature I want. I just want to bring the ham up nice and slow, okay? Now the most important thing again is to confirm that. Always hit the OK button. Now here I want to set the fan speed. I want to lower the fan speed to gentle or to about 20% humidity. Again, confirm. Great. Now I'm ready to go, so I'll press start. Okay? And you can see, if the oven's too hot, it'll cool itself down until it gets to the temperature you want, and then it'll bring it right up. You can see that the internal temperature of my ham at the moment is 54, and adding the 36-degree differential puts it right at 90 degrees. So this thing's going to be low, slow, moist vapor, giving me the optimal rethermalizing on this bone-in ham. Okay, what I would like to show you is I'm going to roast a prime rib utilizing the cook and hold, but we're going to do this manually. I'm going to seize it, probe it, and then we're going to cook and hold it. Now, it's a two-step process when you do it manually. Now later on, Sarah's going to get into programming and we'll just write the algorithm right in for you, and then every time you do your prime rib or your top round, you'll just hit that button and go. But I want you to learn how to do it manually as well. I'm going to put the core probe right into the center of the roast, okay? Now the probe is not active at all, but I can roast it. I want to sear this off at 350 degrees just for about, say, 15 minutes, just to get the roasted color. Then I'll switch, lower the temperature, and go into cook and hold. And I'm going to show you that right now, okay? The oven's already at 350 degrees. I'm going to open the door. And then we're going to put this right into the combi. Okay? Close the door. And what's nice is we can plug the probe in outside, right here on the side. Now I'm roasting and searing at 350 degrees for just about, say, 15 to 18 minutes, but you have a window and lights inside so you can see the roast and exactly what's going on. So you monitor it till you get the color and roasting that you're looking for. Okay, our roast has been in there for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees. It's saying that it's finished. In this case, instead of opening the door, I'm going to actually just hit enter and it stops that cooking process. Okay, we're going to set up cook and hold. I'm going to take it out of Combi Optima and set it to the hot air mode. And then all you have to do is come over here where you see the meat and meat probe icon, select that, and of course the first one is active. Your second choice is Delta T. We're going to do cook and hold, and it says it right there. The internal temperature I'm looking for is about 134. Once you select that, then come up here where it says OK and select OK. Now that it's set, and I want to set the fan speed, very important, lower it to 20%. We don't want a lot of fan speed on there. And again, confirm by selecting OK and select start. Okay, so we did the cook and hold overnight, and as you can see by the screen, it gives you all the information. We cooked in the manual mode, meaning that we didn't write a program. We cooked in the hot air, dry heat, convection mode, if you will. The actual temperature in the oven right now is 136 degrees. Right over here, it gives you the indication cook and hold. You can see that the fan speed is at 20%, a nice gentle fan speed, and that the set temperature was 134, and I'm at 133. I'm exactly where I want to be for this. It's perfect. So now you can see how the Core Probe can help you professionally in the kitchen. You've got the 3 features. Active cooking, where you can put the probe in and it'll shut off when your product's done. You've got Delta T, which is just a money-making a tool for you, an application that'll allow you to do quality products like you've never been done before extremely easily. And then third, you have the overnight cook and hold, which is going to allow you to get production done even overnight when you're not there, and walk in the next day and have the product ready to go. The Core Probe feature is really going to be something that you're going to enjoy working with, and it's going to make you a lot of money, and it's going to allow you to control the quality of the food that's coming out of the oven without having to spend a lot of attention running after the oven and opening and closing the door all the time. It's a fantastic feature, and truly enjoy that one.